Okay, I'm going to make deviled eggs for Claire's family and the pastina, aka the baby salad, or the baby pasta. I heard you, Claire. Okay. Um, meat. Let's see. I didn't take a shower yet today, guys. My hair's a little greasy. I'm a little grease ball. I'm a little grease ball. It's hot here and like sweating in the summer. Okay. The topics for today. Seeing the Palladian trap. Okay, we'll start there. I'm just going to go down the list. This is in no particular order. I already heard you. You want me to talk about last year some more? I will do that. Okay. Pleiadian trap. Seeing the Palladian trap. So, like I said, here's the handy dandy map. Okay, so there's two Palladian traps. One is like on in the future, like above future Earth, where future Earth is. Okay, so the failed 5D. Right, see there's always like two or three of sort of like the same thing. Anyway, so this is future Earth here. Yes. And then the Palladian trap, the Palladian star trap is like here. And then the Christian star trap is here. That's heaven. Okay. So I don't think I have seen it like remote viewed the Palladian trap, but I haven't gone to that one yet. But of course, I can go to it, guys. But anyway, I went to the Heaven Palladian trap. They're both Palladian traps. Okay, so it's both like um, Jesus the Nazarene takes you to the top one, and that's the heaven gates. That's the portal to heaven's gates. And so if you were a Christian, okay, so I went how I went there. I watched Brandon Lee's movie. What the hell was it called? Blazing Fire. Laser Mission. Oh my god. Okay. It's not called Blazing Fire. It's called it's called Laser Mission. Oh my god. Okay. I can't even talk. Oh my god. Okay. Laser Mission, and he starts a guy named Michael, and the girl opposite of him, her her she plays a girl named Alyssa, the same name as me. Okay, so and it's one of his first movies, and his romantic lead is Alyssa. Oh my god. I was a little shocked when I because I just turned it on and then they were like her name's Alyssa and I was like, oh my god. But obviously Hollywood knew who the F I was. They still know who the F I am. So I watched that movie. So I put an overlay of myself in there. And then um, I went into a coma like I did yesterday, but this was like a couple weeks ago. I went into a coma and I went up to heaven, and I was the girl in that lead role. I was the actress, and that was my face at the gates of heaven. And I was like, oh my God, gross. And because she's pretty ugly. And I was like, oh God, gross. Don't look at me, Brandon. Don't kiss me, Brandon. This is disgusting. And then he opened the gates of heaven. And then I ran in. And then he shut the gates of heaven and he locked my ex fiance out. Um, and so that's the Palladian, that's the Palladian heaven trap. So she's trapped in there, and she was a few different girls actually. She was also his ex fiance Eliza, and probably like a few more women that I don't know the names of, but like I was shapeshifting into like a bunch of different ugly faces, and they're trapped now in that portal of heaven because they think like they're important or something because they met Brandon or whatever and his or whatever, or they stalked Brandon in their lifetime here or whatever. Like I don't know. So that's how I saw the heaven Palladian trap. Okay. Next question. And they're stuck in there because they didn't take Alyssa as a savior. Those are like people that took Brandon as the savior, okay? They actually took my husband as a savior. But it is also for people that take Jesus Christ as a savior as well. Okay. Next one. Okay, ancient Egypt, how we're doing it again. Okay, this one's a little long, but basically like I don't really Google things. I don't look things up. I don't read books or anything. I just do everything intuitively, which I have said before. And Alyssa, can you please stop playing with your hair? I'm pretty sure you're not God. Um, so last year I was called to ancient Egypt. My attention was called to ancient Egypt, okay? And it was called to ancient Egypt the last time we did this in 2020, 2022, something like that. And we kind of stopped it because our group kind of stopped it because we're just like, we can't freaking do this. We can't freaking do this. And then the penance was still going on in the background. We felt ancient Egypt coming online again last year, and we were like, fuck it, we just got to do it. Like, whatever. And so then we just started doing our ancient Egyptian practices, which are just like pretty, I would say that's very hedonistic and that's very unrelatable to like a normal like family human life that's being played out in 3D civilization according to like the laws of Washington D.C. and stuff like that. It's not like a regulated thing that you see every day. Um, the ancient Egyptian practices. Okay, so it's very normal to shamans and people in the spiritual community that understand these rites of passage and that like when the energy like there's no holding the energy back, and like if it comes you have to go with the energy, you have to go with the wave, or the wave will just take you under. So we understand that in the spiritual community. So it started last year. I started with Akhenaten, and Akhenaten is Ra, I'll just say that. And um okay, then I kept saying, so basically we've been doing like ancient Egyptian practices since I've gotten home. My mom cooks freaking eggs every freaking morning, and I got sick of eating eggs. That's a satanic practice. Eating eggs is a satanic practice because it's cannibalism, because my energy's in literally everything. So even if you're eating a chicken and you're a human, it's still actually cannibalism. All right. So that's basically how it works. Some people are turning into birds, so it's actually cannibalism. Um, if you run out of energy, your energy's dwindled, then you'll turn into tiny little animals. Okay. It's because that my energy gets greedy, and when you guys aren't listening to me, and I suck all of my energy, pull then what? Pull my energy back, and I become a giant, and you guys become little. Gigi became a squirrel the other day, like that. Okay, so if I'm running out of faith, that means people have to stand up for me. That's how it works. I mean, I just died yesterday. Like, okay. And then, so like just a couple of weeks ago, I was saying Hathor in my head, Hathor, Hathor, Hathor. And I was like, who the heck's Hathor? And I almost looked her up, and then I got distracted and I did something else. And then, I was watching Stargate because my dad's trying to amuse me with movies again for some reason. And I'm just focused on like social media people. Like, I don't know why, but I just can't even like watch 15 minutes of a movie anymore. I have to watch 8 hours of Aaron Dowdy for some reason. I don't know why. So, okay. So I was watching Stargate, and there was the Eye of Horus, and the guy was like, "What's that?" And he's like, "It's the Eye of Ra." And I was like, "That's the Eye of Horus." And I looked it up, and it was the Eye of Horus. But then I looked up like the Eye of Ra and the Eye of Horus, and I noticed that they have this thing, and I was like, "Oh, that's why I have these damn freaking lines." And then the guides were like, "It's in your DNA." Um, and then what happened? Ancient Egypt, how we're doing it again. The sky as a mirror. Okay. So then Hathor basically is the daughter of Ra, and when the Eye of Ra represents when Ra called Hathor to go against his enemies and to stand up for him. And I mean, if you're not into spiritual practices, just say that, Aaron. Like, if you're just a corporate dude, just say that, bro. At this point, like, who are we talking to? Okay. And so Hathor is the daughter of Ra. She goes against Ra's enemies, and she defeats Ra's enemies, and that's basically what we're doing today. I am Hathor. There's a bunch of other people that are Hathor as well. And then also it said, like, in those paragraphs, it said like how the sun changed in ancient Egypt, and how it was so powerful that it was like arrows being shot out of the sun. It felt like arrows being shot out of the sun, and like going like it felt like arrows. Okay. And the sun changed into an Anunnaki sun this year. And so it went from the inorganic sun, which was the blue-white light sun, which that changed into 2017. It changed to the inorganic sun, and it gave me a panic attack. And then this year it kept turning into the organic sun, but it was frying everyone. So I changed it into the Anunnaki sun. So that's how powerful I am. Okay, that's how powerful I am. I changed the sun just with my mind and I put it into the Anunnaki sun. And the Anunnaki sun was the sun that we had in ancient Egypt because people went against my father who got it right at the time. And we're doing it again. We have the Anunnaki sun and it's going to feel very painful, like arrows to like a bunch of people. And then the sun changed today when I was talking to Gigi, and she was being mean to me. She was saying like, "Oh, look how proud of herself she is," or something, like just being mean to me, like Gigi always is. And the sun changed into. Oh, sorry. I wasn't looking at the sun. I was just looking at this. I was looking at Gigi, but then out of the corner of my eye, it felt like the sun was here, like right in front of me, and it went into my eye. And I looked up, and there's nothing there. It was just the sky. So it was like a mirror was put through the sky, and it reflected the sun, and it reflected the sun right into my eye. So that can make you go blind. Then they want me to talk about last year. Okay, what do you guys want me to say about last year? Last year was a completely different game. I was in my bubble with Ryan, and we thought we were the only people in the entire world because everywhere we went, we were together. And we just kind of got used to that, being Alyssa and Ryan together in this bubble. And like every person that I would go to, I would just pull Ryan through them, and I would just be with Ryan everywhere, and he had the same experience, but with me, and it was me in every person. And okay, an eye for an eye makes the whole world blind. I mean, it's the same argument that like Gigi and like April had. You know, it's like, okay, then that just why do you do what you do? What's your business then? What's your business then? You know, if you don't believe in this stuff, if you don't believe in telepathy, if you don't believe in aliens, if you don't believe in the power of the spiritual world, then why are you posting about it on Instagram every day? What's the point of that? You know, oh, this girl comments on my posts and she comments a lot or whatever because I'm telepathically asking her questions and I'm telepathically asking her to come back to my class because I telepathically want to talk to my mother. And then like in the same like sentence, like you want to threaten me or whatever. And it's like, okay, then what are you doing being a spiritual leader on YouTube if you don't believe in telepathy or whatever? What are you going to do? Like go to court and be like, she keeps leaving comments. Aren't they going to just say delete the comments if you don't like her comments? Like, you know, like, can't you just be like, send her an email, hey, can you please stop commenting or something before you actually like go to a lawyer about it or something like that? Like, aren't they going to laugh at you in the face? Isn't that why you post? Isn't she engaging? Isn't that increasing your engagement? Like if you're gonna go that direction. I mean, how stupid are people? Like, you know what I mean? Like, doesn't it come with the job? And so it's like, okay, then fine. Then you don't believe in spirituality. Then why are you posting about spirituality? She's saying that she's your telepathic mother or whatever. Aren't you guys telepathic? Aren't you guys talking to her? Aren't you communicating with her telepathically? So then what's the problem? Then why are you a spiritual person? I mean, okay. So, so basically when I went to work last year, it was sort of just like the same exact people like that I'm interacting with online. Like it was the same exact people, like Gigi, Ryan, Alex, April. It was all of them just in an office setting. And I interacted with them all year, and it was the same conversation. I left off LA, went to Kenosha. It's the same freaking conversation, kept continuing, and that's when I was like, I'm going back to my spiritual people, and I'm going to start talking out loud to them because this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous that you're fighting me tooth and nail still, you know. And not all of them are fighting me. Obviously, Alex said with his mouth last year, I feel the technology. Okay. People are whispering to themselves, what is she going to do if she fails this mission? Didn't Brandon, isn't he like pulling me out almost every single day now? Okay, so that's what happened last year. We were stuck in our bubble. I was not being treated holy in Kenosha. And so it was like another repeated freaking year of the same freaking shit. My nose started bleeding like it always does, just like the TV show called Stranger Things, where they stole my personality. It actually happens to me in real life. I have said this multiple times. The things that you film are recorded in space, and then you make movies and TV shows off of them, and you make that for fake Babylonian money, and you basically just are stealing my energy. It is literally all of my energy. Okay. Alyssa, why are you arguing with me today? I feel like I'm on my deathbed. Okay, well, I was on my deathbed yesterday. That's how this stuff goes. I've already said that. Um, what else about last year? They weren't treating me holy. My nose started bleeding. I started to get sick, physically sick. And then the drugs turned on, and I went up and I went to rewrite all the space codes and to unveil the future heavens. Um, like she said, they already existed. It's just like an unveiling. And I had to go up to unveil them. There's Aaron's higher self. Isn't Atlantic City a dirty city? You know how he does that? Very different energy. that's that's Aaron's higher self. What else? My bubble with Ryan, not being treated as holy. Okay. My parents peeking through Ryan. Well, it's really just my dad peeking through Ryan. That's when we realized that you guys were listening in on us. Brandon confronted my dad. It was for 2 years. Brandon got mad at my dad, and that's what Men in Black do. There's no privacy. There's no protection from Men in Black if you're out of line. That's just the way it is. Last year, parents peeking through. My dad has ancient cosmonaut higher self that is now being punished because he failed his mission this year. So his codes are not just being rewritten, he's also suffering penance because he did not pass his test this year with me moving home. So, and then hiring Angelina and Brad. I think I've talked about Angelina and Brad before, that they're my like real actual parents, and I hire people when it's the perfect timing. And so I hired Angelina. It was her live reaction from 1999 when she found out her daughter has to actually go to college and be a normal girl. And she went to the pit of despair, like most of us do when we find out that we're not starting the awakening, we're doing the great reset and stuff like that. And, I have family members claiming that they're from space, but they're not Angelina. They're just like a fake clone of Angelina. And then soon I'll probably hire Brad, okay? Brad Pitt. So that's how it works. And then this morning, so there's 4 voids now. There's 4 voids. So this is my void up here. Then there's a lower void for Jen. This one is my mother's void. And then this one is Lulu De Rowen's void. And she was telling me to stop freaking out. We live in Antarctica City, so why are you freaking out? And this was in, an astral plane. And then I became a super soldier against Lulu because she was telling me to stop freaking out. And I was like, I became a super soldier, and then I was like, why, what do you mean we live in Antarctica City? I live in Burlington, New Jersey. And I said, and you live in Miami. I don't know where Lulu lives, but that's what I said, okay? I was like, we do not live in Antarctica City, okay? People are not. I need to be living in my castle, but I am not. So, and you need to start standing up for me too. It's everyone. So, um, I think that's it for today. 25 minutes. And I think I gave you guys all of my downloads and I covered a lot of ground. So hopefully this video will make you happy for a little while.